Hi there, you must be Megan.
Yes, I am. And you must be Olivia. It's so nice to finally meet you in person.
Likewise, I'm glad we could make this happen. How was the drive over?
Honestly, not bad at all. Traffic was surprisingly calm. I kept waiting for something dramatic to happen, but it was smooth the whole way.
That's rare. Usually the universe throws in a little chaos just to keep things interesting.
Exactly. I even left early just in case. I didn't want to cut it close. I'd rather sit in the parking lot and breathe than rush in stressed out.
That already tells me something about you. Planning ahead is underrated.
I've learned that the hard way.
Well, I'm happy you're here. Can I get you coffee? Tea? Water?
Water would be perfect, thank you.
Here you go. Make yourself comfortable.
Thank you. I have to say, this office has a great energy. It feels open, calm.
That means a lot. We try to create an atmosphere where people can actually think. Interviews can feel intimidating enough as it is.
Oh, absolutely. I was telling myself in the car, it's just a conversation. It's just a conversation.
That's exactly what it is. So, anyway, before we dive into the official questions, how's your week been?
Busy, but in a good way. I just wrapped up a consulting project, and there's something satisfying about closing a chapter. You know? Sending that final email and thinking, okay, done.
I know that feeling. It's like mentally clearing your desk.
Yes, exactly. A fresh start.
All right, let's ease into it. Tell me about yourself, not the resume version, but the human version.
Laughs. I like that. The human version. Well, I studied business administration, but I've always been fascinated by how people work together. What motivates them? What makes teams thrive or fall apart?
That's interesting. Not just the numbers, but the dynamics.
Exactly. Numbers matter, of course. But behind every spreadsheet, there are people making decisions. I started my career in marketing, mostly coordinating campaigns. Over time, I stepped into a more strategic role.
What changed?
I think I found my voice. At first, I hesitated to speak up in meetings. I'd overthink everything. But one day, I shared an idea almost by accident. And it worked.
Really? What happened?
We were brainstorming for a product launch. Everyone was stuck. I suggested reframing the message entirely, focusing on storytelling instead of features. It shifted the mood in the room.
No way.
Yes. That was the moment I realized I didn't have to sit quietly. My perspective had value.
That's powerful. Finding your voice at work changes everything.
So, what made you apply for this role specifically?
I'll be honest, I wasn't actively job hunting. But when I came across your company's mission statement, something clicked. It didn't feel generic, it felt intentional.
That's good to hear.
I think I've reached a point where I care less about titles and more about impact. I want to contribute somewhere that values long term thinking, not just quick wins.
That resonates with me. Quick wins are exciting, but sustainable growth is more meaningful.
Exactly. Anyone can chase trends. Building something that lasts, that's different.
What would you say sets you apart? What's your edge?
I'd say emotional intelligence. I read the room well. If there's tension, I notice it. If someone feels unheard, I try to include them.
That's rare.
I learned it from making mistakes, actually. Early in my career, I focused only on performance. I delivered results, but I didn't always notice how people felt along the way.
And that changed?
Yes, I realized results mean more when the team feels respected. Productivity improves when trust is present.
I couldn't agree more.
I also adapt quickly. When plans shift, and they always do, I don't spiral. I recalibrate.
Recalibrate. I like that word.
What's something you're still working on?
Letting go. I can be a bit of a control enthusiast.
That's a diplomatic way to say it.
I used to think if I didn't oversee every detail, something would fall apart. But that mindset isn't scalable.
It's exhausting.
Exactly. I'm learning to delegate. Not just tasks, but trust.
Tell me about a conflict you've navigated.
There was a time when two team members disagreed strongly on campaign direction. It was getting personal. Instead of forcing a decision, I asked each of them to explain their reasoning separately.
What I realized was they both wanted the same outcome. They just had different approaches. Once we reframed the conversation around shared goals, the tension softened.
That's leadership without authority.
That's a good way to put it.
What's the most embarrassing professional moment you've had?
Oh, I have one. During a big presentation, I confidently said, "As you can see on the slide," and the slide was blank.
Completely blank. I had forgotten to save the final version.
What did you do?
I laughed and said, "Well, imagine something brilliant here." It broke the tension.
Humor saves the day.
It really does. If you can laugh at yourself, people relax.
Let's shift gears. What does success mean to you now?
That's a big question. I used to define success by achievement, promotions, recognition. Now it's more about alignment. Am I proud of what I'm building? Do I feel balanced?
Balance is tricky.
It is. Work can easily take over, but burnout isn't a badge of honor. I've learned that rest fuels creativity.
I see what you mean.
So, anyway, I try to protect my energy the same way I protect deadlines.
What would you like to know about us?
I'm curious about growth here. Not just upward mobility, but skill development.
We prioritize mentorship. Every team member has access to workshops and peer learning sessions.
That's important. I believe growth is intentional. It doesn't just happen.
And how would you describe the culture in 3 words?
Thoughtful, collaborative, accountable.
That's interesting. Not fast paced.
Laughs. We are fast paced, but I prefer depth over speed.
I appreciate that.
This has been refreshing. You bring clarity and depth to your answers.
Thank you. I genuinely enjoyed this. It didn't feel transactional.
Good. That's intentional.
Interviews can feel like performances. This felt like a dialogue.
That's the goal. Connection matters more than rehearsed answers.
I'll remember that.
We'll be making our decision next week. Regardless of the outcome, I appreciate your authenticity.
That means a lot. Truly.
Safe drive home.
Thank you. And thank you for your time.
Laughs. So anyway, we just talked about us for 10 minutes.
5 useful expressions. That's a good way to put it. I couldn't agree more. That really resonated with me. I see what you mean. That means a lot.
Thanks for watching. What would you like to talk about next? Comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next one.